everyone. So, Watson season 2, episode 20 brings the series to an end, but unfortunately, it feels more like a rushed afterthought than a proper farewell. From the very beginning, the episode struggles with focus. What should have been a tightly written, emotionally satisfying finale instead turns into a disjointed mix of storylines that never quite come together. If this only had been a season finale, it might have been an easier to overlook, but as a series ender, it simply doesn't deliver. One of the biggest issues is where the show chooses to spend its time. Instead of leaning into the medical mystery routes that made Watson compelling in the first place, the episode gets bogged down in the Sebastian Moran storyline. His threads, his motives, his connection to Sherlock don't add much weight and ultimately feels like a filler in an episode that desperately needed clarity and purpose. Worse, major moments come and go without impact. A nurse is killed, the team reacts, then the story just moves on. Shinwell's arc, which should have been about redemption and growth, ends on an oddly flat note. His big moral dilemma happens mostly off screen, stripping it of any real emotion payoff. It's the kind of resolution that feels less like choice and more like a box being checked. At the center of everything is Watson himself dealing with a life threatening brain tumor. This should have been the emotional and narrative core of the finale. Instead, it's treated almost like a background noise until the very end, when it's suddenly resolved in a rushed last minute fix. After spending so much time building up this arc, wrapping it up so quickly makes the entire journey feel hollow. Even the medical mystery surrounding Sherlock, something that could have been grounded the episode, gets lost in the chaos. There are hints of something interesting from amnesia to genetic complications, but it never gets the attention it deserves. With so many competing threads, nothing has the space to fully land. Then there's the emotional resolution, particularly between Watson and Mary. The show has spent a lot of good portion of the season building a complicated, slow burn relationship between them. But instead of a meaningful payoff, their ending feels rushed and unearned. Big emotional confession happen only when it's convenient for the plot, not because the story naturally led there. Other characters don't fare much better. Several arcs are left hanging or wrapped up with quick throwaway lines. It gives the impression that the show ran out of time rather than reaching a thoughtful conclusion. To be fair, the episode isn't completely without merit. The idea of giving Watson a hopeful ending is the right one, and a brief time jump helps avoid leaving things on a completely unresolved note. But those small positives aren't enough to make up for everything that feels incomplete. In the end, Watson deserved a finale that honored what made it special, its character driven storytelling and its engaging medical mystery. Instead, it goes out with an episode that feels scattered, rushed, and strangely disconnected from its own strength. It's not just a weak episode, it's a disappointing goodbye. Thank you for watching. Bye.